Imagine a team that climbed up from the depths of the lower leagues and is now about to spend millions to go toe-to-toe with the Championship giants. That's right, Wrexham have arrived with a bang, and today we're bringing you the top 4 news stories from the club. And hold on tight, because story number 4 is a bombshell. It involves one of the biggest names potentially joining the club, and it's got everyone talking. So stick around until the end to find out what's really going on behind the scenes. News 1. Wrexham owners' multi-million plan. After securing promotion to the Championship with a convincing 3-0 victory over Charlton Athletic, Wrexham aren't just aiming to take part next season, they want to compete at a high level. And to do that, the club's owners, Hollywood stars Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds, are ready to take a bold step, quadrupling the team's wage bill. The news came from Humphrey Kerr, the club's executive director and right-hand man to the owners. According to him, both Rob and Ryan knew from the start of the season that if they wanted to climb another rung in the English football ladder, they'd have to open their wallets, and not only did they accept that, they're excited by the challenge. The plan is crystal clear: transform Wrexham into a competitive Championship side, with top-level infrastructure and a strong squad. And the first major move of this new era is already in motion. The club are targeting a big name to bolster their defence: Aaron Cresswell, the experienced left-back who made a name for himself at West Ham and is currently a free agent. Signing him would mark a major milestone in Wrexham's next phase, but it won't come cheap. Cresswell's salary is around £2.6 million a year, which is over 17 million Brazilian reals. To give you an idea of what kind of leap this would be, the current highest-paid player in the squad is Jay Rodriguez, earning £15,000 per week. In other words, bringing in Cresswell would be like dropping a Formula 1 engine into a go-kart. A clear signal that Wrexham don't just want to survive in the Championship, but compete head-to-head with the big boys. This move reinforces what Rob and Ryan have been building since taking over the club: a blend of passion, planning, and serious investment. They're not just promoting the team, they're rewriting Wrexham's story, with a project that could put the club on the map as one of the rising forces in English football. And if this £1 million plan comes together, Wrexham could shock even more people next season. So, could the Premier League be next? News 2. Fans call for return of retired legend. Now it's time to speak from the heart. Amidst £1 million signings and ambitious plans, Wrexham are also going through a moment full of emotion and nostalgia. That's because Ben Tozer, one of the club's most beloved recent figures, is once again the talk of the fans, and the reaction has been intense. Tozer left Wrexham last season, having been a cornerstone of the defence and a leader on the pitch during the club's journey out of the dreaded National League and back into the professional tiers. After leaving, he had a brief stint at Forest Green Rovers, but this week, at 34 years old, he officially announced his retirement from football. And that was all it took for the fans to act. As soon as the news spread, social media was flooded with messages urging the former centre-back to return, but not as a player this time. Fans don't want him wearing the kit again, but they want him back at the club in some capacity. As an assistant coach, director, ambassador, trainer, anything, as long as it's with Wrexham. One fan summed it up perfectly: "He helped us out of the National League. We won't forget. Come back to the Wrexham family." Others went even further, suggesting that Tozer should be groomed to possibly become the club's manager one day. It might sound bold, but it shows how deeply admired and respected he is within the local community. Tozer wasn't just a player, he was a leader, a symbol of resilience and unity, especially during the club's toughest times in recent years. During his time at Wrexham, he captained the side, led the backline with authority and won over fans with his humble, committed and charismatic nature. His presence in the dressing room was just as vital as his performances on the pitch. Wrexham are entering a bold new era, with bigger ambitions and more money on the table. But the memories of those who helped build this moment are still very much alive, and Tozer is undoubtedly one of those eternal names. So now the question is, will the board listen to the fans? Will we see Ben Tozer back at the racecourse ground, this time in a suit and tie? The door is open. The fans' love is massive. And the story, well, he's already written it. The only question now is whether it will continue off the pitch. News 3. Wrexham's secret weapon in race against Leeds United. The race for Aaron Cresswell isn't over yet, and Wrexham seem to be playing it smart in this negotiation. Despite facing competition from bigger clubs like Leeds United, the Welsh side have some important cards up their sleeve that could make all the difference in the final decision. First up, there's the geographic advantage. Cresswell was born in Liverpool and grew up in Merseyside, which is much closer to Wrexham than it is to Leeds. That might sound like a small thing, but for a player over 30, who spent years living far from home, being closer to family can be a huge factor, the kind of comfort that money can't buy, especially later in one's career. Second, there's the promise of a starring role. While Leeds might offer more competition for places and squad rotation, Wrexham have made it clear that Cresswell would arrive as a guaranteed first-team starter. The club aren't just offering a decent wage, they're offering minutes on the pitch, a leadership role in the dressing room, and a central part in their ambitious championship project. Cresswell, who played over a decade in the Premier League, knows he's entering a new stage of his career. And having regular game time and being a key figure in a competitive squad might be more appealing than simply playing for a big-name club. At Wrexham, he would be a technical and experienced leader, a key player in a side aiming to make its mark in the Championship. On top of that, Wrexham's project is turning heads across the UK and beyond. The direct involvement of celebrities like Reynolds and McElhenney, the meteoric rise of the club in recent years, and the solid infrastructure on and off the pitch make the club an attractive option, not just financially, but in terms of visibility and legacy. And of course, Phil Parkinson, the club's manager, has been crucial in all this. Parkinson has been building a well-balanced squad and made it clear from the start of the new season that he wants experienced reinforcements, especially those with Premier League pedigree. Cresswell fits that mould perfectly, over 300 professional matches, sharp football intelligence, and the ability to lead a defence under pressure. The battle with Leeds won't be easy, they're a traditional club, with a huge fan base and Premier League aspirations too. But Wrexham are offering something more personal, more direct, with clear promises of importance and emotional connection. And that could be a game-changer. So now the big question: will Cresswell go for Wrexham's bold and heartfelt project, or the historic badge of Leeds United? We might have an answer in the coming days, and it could shake up the Championship market. News 4, today's biggest bombshell, £25 million transfer investment. Now brace yourself, the biggest news of the day is that Wrexham are heading into the transfer market with a £25 million budget. Yes, you read that right. Over 160 million Brazilian reals available to strengthen the squad. It's the largest investment in the club's modern history, and a clear sign that Reynolds and McElhenney's project is only just beginning. The owners have made it clear, they're not here to simply put on a show, they're here to compete on equal footing with the giants. The goal in the Championship isn't just survival. It's to fight for promotion to the Premier League. And to do that, the club needs a strong, deep squad full of quality. According to Wrexham's own staff, the approach will be aggressive in the market. That means they won't sit and wait, they'll go after their targets. The club already has a shortlist, focusing on experienced players, with past success in higher divisions, but who still have plenty to offer. The idea is to sign leaders, players who will come in to start, not just make up the numbers. And what does this level of investment mean? With this budget, Wrexham can sign 3 to 5 Championship or Premier League players whose contracts have expired, offering top-level wages. Strengthen key areas, such as a high-level centre-back, a creative midfielder, and a clinical striker. Upgrade the backroom staff, adding elite names to the fitness, performance analysis, and coaching departments. And still have funds left for opportunistic deals mid-window. For those who followed the club since the dark days of the National League, this kind of headline once seemed like fantasy. But the truth is, the Wrexham project has become a global case study. Modern management, celebrity ownership, global appeal, direct involvement of the owners, and, above all, ambition, lots of ambition. And this £25 million investment is proof of that. It's not just about spending money for the sake of it. It's about building a team capable of fighting for promotion and showing that Wrexham isn't just a passing story, it's a long-term project. This move places Wrexham on the radar not only of other Championship clubs but of players, agents, and analysts across the country. Everyone will now be keeping an eye on what happens in North Wales, and that includes fans from all over the world who've fallen in love with the club thanks to the documentary series and the exciting football on the pitch. The pressure will be high, of course. With big investments come big expectations. But if there's one thing Rob and Ryan have proven, it's that they don't back down from a challenge. This transfer window is shaping up to be one of the most important in Wrexham's history. With the right moves, the club could make a serious push for promotion, and who knows, perhaps the Premier League dream isn't so far off after all. So stay tuned, because the next few weeks promise to be historic.